Hey everyone, this is the video before we do day 4, but I was thinking about this a lot and I thought this is a really kind of the perfect place to address this and in the hopes that this can be helpful to anyone. So I've always taken this stance on Facebook. I mean, I have my opinions about things. I'm flexible in some opinions and realistically maybe not so much in others, but I've taken this stance as far as even on my personal Facebook page, not to like hide anything about how I feel about things. And if someone doesn't like that, that's fine. You know, that's their choice to not like that. It was really a conscious decision because I know in doing this work, sometimes we can kind of hide who we really are in some way. So that's why I just made that choice on my personal page. I'm just going to be who I am on there and let other people, you know, if they need to make a decision about it, that's great. So what prompted yesterday is I put a post in, and I kind of thought it was probably Photoshop because I had seen one of the pictures before, but I just thought, I wasn't sure, so I posted it, and there was some sentiment. I thought the sentiment was amazing, and it would be along the lines of Black Lives Matter. And twice now, and I want to share this, someone that I was actually really, really good friends with for a long time, especially when I first moved to New Mexico, was really interesting on 2 different posts that I had, and I thought, the good thing is it's not someone whose opinion I care about anymore, you know. So it was like, okay, that's okay. But why I wanted to share this, particularly with women, not that men are excluded from this because there are so many good men in the world. But what, about 10 years ago, I had confronted this person because someone that I really loved and cared about had contacted me, and I hope this share really helps people. It was someone that I really knew and said, hey, this person's like private messaging me, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird. And knowing what I knew of this person, I was like, oh, you know, I've known him forever. I just think he's harmless. And I said that, and I meant it because of what I knew of him. And then I got a call back again a little bit later saying, I'm really uncomfortable. So I called this friend of mine and confronted him on it and just said, look, you know, someone that I really care about is really concerned, and this whole experience too, that what happened yesterday, I think, is really illuminating of how, and this is just a minor, really in some ways, compared to women that have really gone through, you know, some significant stuff. It's just the enculturation and have been victimized by it. So what happened was, hey Meenakshi, waving to you, is the conversation was like, it didn't go very well. I thought it would, but it didn't. And it basically ended our friendship, and it was worth it to me because this person that contacted me is, you know, very dear to me. So why I wanted to share this part of this is I think as women, especially in the patriarchal culture that we live in, what I see can be set up, and again, I'm going to say there are so many good, dear men on the planet. This isn't a broad brushstroke to say, you know, this about men, but I think men are so enculturated in this patriarchal culture to be more dominant, to it's just the programming, and can be some good in that and some not so good. And some of the not so good is absolved of any wrongdoing, blaming the victim, making the victim out to be wrong. And so what I did is I have now actually unfriended and blocked this person because like I said, I've always taken the stance, I'm not going to unfriend and block somebody that has a different opinion of me. But I private message because there was no way that I could address what was said without involving the other person. And I was like, I'm not doing that to them. I'm not doing that on a public forum. For me, that would be really inappropriate. So I private messaged and, got the response that I kind of figured was probably coming due to the conversation that we had, over 10 years ago. And it was just profound to see how someone can so just oppose the truth. Like, the truth is there. And I'm going to give a little bit of detail here. But what happened is this person that I care about called me, and I was like, oh, I think I've known him forever. I think he's really harmless. And then called me back and was like pretty upset. And so then I'm like, oh no, okay, I am sorry that I said that, because clearly that's not the case. And then in the calling and confronting of this person was met with, they're not upset with me. I've spoken to them and they're fine. And I'm like, well, that's kind of bizarre, because I just got off the phone and she's pretty upset. And it's this blatant, what's the word I'm looking for? Just ignoring the truth. And I thought, you can't work with that. That's when relationships will end for me, is if there's no, I always say this, I can pretty much forgive anybody anything, but I do have a rule about it. They just need to own their part in something, because then for me, I can work with that, because I am a flawed, fallible human being. I mess up, I make mistakes. But why I wanted to share this, especially now more than ever, is for women to really step up for each other. And when you can, if you have your own stuff that you're working through and you're in more of a fragile place and you can't do that, oh my gosh, please do not judge yourself for that. Honor your own process. Honor your own process. I'm at a place around this stuff where I can. I know there was a time I couldn't due to my programming. So first and foremost, honor you, the most important person in your life. Honor your truth. And if your truth is, I'm fragile right now, please just remind yourself to surround yourself with the people that support you in that. And, it's okay that aren't going to make you wrong for maybe not feeling like you can say something about something due to where your position is. And then as you kind of clear out the stuff around that and you find more of the space to do that, it's a personal choice. And for me, I was like, there's no way I'm not going to confront this person. This is someone that's really dear to me. And I don't care if it ends the friendship, because this person is that dear to me. And I think, it's someone it was impressionable, and I feel a level of responsibility for. And I was like, no. And I just feel like it's really important as women, and particularly in this group, to all support each other. And we have great men in this group. The few men, one guy, Jerry, was like, how come there aren't more men in this group? I'm like, well, they're statistically just less in this field. And I think, again, it's not because they don't want to be, it's the enculturation. And the ones that can be and stuff like this obviously have, well, not always, but because there's that too, but and that's that for women too, have done their work. And the other thing, this has been a really interesting week for me around attending with clients that have been bullied. And that's why I made that post about some of the elite coaches that will shame people or say, if you're not willing to mortgage your home to do this, you don't value yourself enough. Oh my, please. As if a dollar amount gives you value, really. And I was talking to someone, and I love this. I thought this is a good video. That's not marketing. That's manipulation. And that's the thing she said. And I'm like, that's a whole video in of itself. That's not marketing. That's manipulation. anytime you feel that uneasiness, trust that. And I want to read you something that I was meant to see this morning. And I'm gonna read this, and then I want to say a couple things. Let them judge you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them gossip about you. Their opinions aren't your problem. You stay kind, committed to love, and free in your authenticity, no matter what they do or say. Don't you dare doubt yourself, your worth, or the beauty of your truth. Just keep shining like you do. And I love this, and I would say a few things. We do doubt ourselves. We do doubt our value. We're especially just as a human being, and I would say even more particularly as women, due to the enculturation. And I would say we are going to doubt, but that's where tapping is a beautiful thing that can come in and alleviate us from that doubt. And I'm saying, don't make yourself wrong for doubting yourself. I doubt myself. We all do. And then what's the other thing? Stay kind. Okay. that is always optimum. But this is what I found in myself as someone who had so squashed my truth for so long. I think particularly as women, with anger being what I call one of the most forbidden emotions, is sometimes you got to bang your shopping cart. And sometimes getting angry is empowering. And it doesn't mean we have to be abusive with our anger, because anger is both healthy and unhealthy. But sometimes we swing the pendulum this way because we've been so suppressed. So to me, the key here is all about making it all okay, accepting yourself even in what you might consider to be your worst moments, because you are a human being, and we're all works in progress, and we're figuring it out. And actually I'll post that quote in this group for sure. So this is not the video that's happening at 9 Mountain Time, but I felt compelled. I didn't want to do this on my personal page. I feel really protective of the person that I would say sort of stepped in on their behalf over 10 years ago. So that's why I just thought this is a good and a safe place to post this. And I think it can help women in this group in particular to learn over time how to empower ourselves to feel safe to speak our truth. And when we're ready, and not a moment sooner. So Meenakshi, thanks for being here. Beth, Sandra or Sandra, I see this. You can always spell it phonetically for me, but Sandra. I've heard it said both ways. Thanks for being here live, and I'm going to wave, and then I'll see you back here at 9 my time for the next Forbidden Emotions call, day 4.